Well, my name is Gary Schotten, and I want to just share some principles I think that will help inspire better business. So we're going to talk today about cash is king. Now, I'm sitting here in my machine shop with 65 employees, pretty good size payroll, pretty good size sales every year, but it didn't start that way. My experience started way back in '82, my first thought of owning a business. And I was thinking about starting a moving and storage company, and I asked my pastor at the time what he thought. Now, I asked him if he could join me for breakfast, but the truth of the matter was I didn't have much cash in my pocket. I was there with this person I respected, and I had asked him for breakfast, so when I sat down to order, I knew I had enough money, depending on what he ordered, for one breakfast, but not two. I don't know that he picked up on it, but when he said, hey, go ahead and order there, he ordered him a breakfast, and I said, you know, I'm not that hungry. I think I'll just take some coffee and some juice. The truth of the matter, I didn't have enough cash to cover the bill with a little tip. So cash started to affect me. It was like, oh man, I need cash in hand. Cash is king. Now, later on, I was with another leader that I respect highly, and he was teaching on how much confidence you have if you can put a $100 bill or a couple $100 bills, you know, if you fold them, you stuff it in your billfold, and you just keep them there. That's your reserve. That's something, that's not that money controls me or something that overpowers me, but man, how much more confidence to go into any situation you're in, and you know that you got two $100 bills in your pocket just in case. Man, that gives you a lot of strength, a lot of persistence, a lot of power. I don't like the idea that right now we're in such a cashless society that everything's on credit card. That's okay. That's the way we're headed, but I'm not that kind of guy. I like to have some cash in my pocket. Now, I call cash just like the blood in your veins. You run out of cash, you're going to bleed to death. Just like if I cut my wrist right here and I started bleeding, I'd have everybody in this shop running over trying to stop the bleeding, stop the bleeding, stop the bleeding. Cash is like blood. You gotta have it. And it gives you a huge advantage when you have some extra cash. Gives you buying power, gives you strength. Let me tell you about my experience for 17 years in the moving and storage business. Now, in that business, it seems like cash was hard to come by, and it was harder to come by at different parts of the month. I had a $50,000, $50,000 to $60,000 payroll every other week. And in the off weeks, I tried to pay my insurance, pay my payments to the bank on my building, pay for advertising, pay for the other necessary bills that were accumulating. And every once in a while, at least twice a year, man, I had 5 Fridays. That meant one Friday I didn't have any payroll, I didn't have any extra bills. I had an extra payment that was reserved cash. Man, that helped me. It was a great thing. Now, recently my wife and I went to a leaders event in Hawaii. We do this every year now with a particular leader that we really respect. And in this leaders event, there's about 250 people. Well, maybe there's 250 couples and about 500 people. And these are all people that are fairly motivated to increase. Dr. Bob Harrison is Dr. Increase, and he's the leader of this event. And we enjoy going. And this last springtime in February we went. It was real interesting to hear all these business people talk about what was going to be a recent recession or an upcoming recession, about how the other recessions had hit them. And because they had cash, they had extra money, they were able to capitalize, not take advantage of people, that's not the case, but they were in a position to buy land, buildings, businesses that they didn't that wasn't capable for other people that had run out of cash. They made a real interesting statement. It was just classic. They said, you know, one of them looked to the other guy and said, man, I hate to let a good recession pass me by. Well, what do they mean? When a recession happens, everybody without cash clams up, becomes more tight with their money, doesn't spend money, That means prices drop. That means land values go down. That means houses go down. That means building go down. The cost of businesses goes down. And if you've got the cash, you have a wonderful opportunity without taking advantage of somebody. I'm not talking about that. If you're the highest bidder at the auction, you did not take this as an advantage. You were there because you had cash. Now, I try to make sure that I have a reserve of cash in this business. We don't have an abundance of cash, but we make sure that we have a reserve of cash, because there's a certain situations come up that if I can pay cash, I'm in a better position. If you buy a car, historically you can go in and they'll deal with you and try to figure out what's your best payment and how you can make this car payment fit if you rearrange everything and convince you that on top of all your other payments, yes, you have the ability to buy this car. Totally different deal if you go in with your checkbook and say, I want to buy this used car. I did this with each one of our children as they became 16 and 17 years old. I wanted them to have a car. And I said to the salesman, I was kind of their worst enemy. I just said, listen, what would be your bottom dollar that you could take on this car? And they would give me a figure, and then I would offer them something less than that. These are big boys. I'm not taking advantage of a little grandma. These are in the business, and I would start writing out the check. It's amazing what you could buy if you have cash. So I hope this has helped you. I don't want to make you into a money-hungry vulture that's just using your cash to overpower people. No. But you are wise. You want to be wise. You want to be kingdom wise. And you want to have some cash available to you. It's like the blood in your veins. Keep it flowing good. Keep it strong, flowing strong. I'm at the age I have a heart exam because I want that pump to be strong in my life. I want cash to be strong.